All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. I want to give double honor to the elder apostles and elder bishop of Great Millstone, who rule well and teaching us his truth 100% securely. And I would like to give a salutation to the men out there on the highways and byways putting the shoe throughout the four corners of the earth. And also, I'd like to give a salutation to the Akim and Aqua listening and studying to show ourselves approved. This is Brother Bayan from the Tulsa, Oklahoma, Hebrew Israelite Camp, coming back to you with another quick lesson. And this is just another lesson. I guess I'm entitled another filthy conversation. Okay, and you know, I might hashtag it side dude or side piece. All right, and this is just a filthy conversation, which is further proof why America, aka Babylon the Great, must be destroyed. Okay, we need Yahweh Shai, who in the world in Christ Jesus Christ, to come back and not only to destroy this place, but to set up a righteous kingdom. All right, this is a wicked kingdom to the point where when you enter into a relationship, you literally can't take that woman serious, okay? And that's just the state that we're in, all right? This is why you see the marriages in America, aka Babylon the Great, at an all-time high with divorces and so on and so forth, and you know, domestic violence is at an all-time high due to betrayals in a relationship, so on and so forth. Okay, so it's another example of filthy conversation, and you know, a lot of these behaviors, it just lead to, you know, what it is. All right, so you know, without further ado, this is a video I was just watching. I actually watched it earlier, and I just wanted to play a little bit of it. All right, this is a fair use, not using this content for any monetary gain. This is fair use. Okay, and so there's testimonies of guys who said they'd rather be a side piece, you know, due to a lot of other reasons, okay? And basically it's the women of this society as well who pretty much can't be trusted, okay? And then you have the man, which goes both ways, right? And you know, in the scriptures, it talked about how, you know, that man and that woman must be put to death. This is what, because the people that's talking like this, the reason why they're talking like this because there is no fear of committing adultery, okay? And that's why and in general, in America, aka Babylon the Great, there's no fear of the consequences for sinning against the Heavenly Father, okay? And that's what we constantly preach, and we want that to come back, okay? Because we see how deadly these, you know, sinning against the Heavenly Father, basically, we see how deadly it is. You see how much confusion it brings. Okay, you see how much chaos it brings when you know, when you do these type of things. Okay, you know, it's all kinds of news outlets based on this behavior right here. So without further ado, matter of fact, let's get to Matthew. All right, because you're gonna see the difference in which it's balance. Okay, so Matthew chapter 12 and 35, it says, "A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasures bringeth forth evil things." Okay, and so these guys right here, they are speaking filthy conversation, okay, to where you know that it's going to bring forth evil things. Okay, it's point blank period. When you listen to what they actually saying, how they'd rather be a side piece. All right, so without further ado, let's listen.
These men should not have so many stories like this. It doesn't make any sense.
Being the side guy is better than being the main guy. Matter of fact, let me tell you a story why. I used to mess with this one bop, and every Thursday I'd go over to her dorm and stay over. She would always cook for me, and I got the hit whenever I want. She would basically give me wife treatment without me having to do too much. And I only took her on like 1 or 2 dates, ever. This lasted hella months. One day, after I'm done doing the do, right, we start talking, and she's talking about this guy she's talking to that she wants to make a relationship. But she's telling me all the rules and bullshit she's making him go through. And she knows that she's making him go through it. And the sad part is the main guy knows nothing about me smashing this woman every single Thursday while he's taking her out on hella dates, treating her the way she's supposed to be treated and whatnot. And in my head, I'm feeling bad. But do I still keep smashing? Yeah, I'm still going to keep smashing every Thursday.
Well, I think somebody.
And that right there, that's the main reason why I read that Matthew 12 and 35, right? Because it said, the good man out of the good treasures of his heart bringeth forth good things, okay? So if you know that's wrong, then you're going to change your behavior and you're going to, cut that woman off. But what he said, of course, I'm going to keep smashing, right? So an evil man out of the evil treasures of his heart bringeth forth evil things. And what is that type of evil? One of the many evil things that we know for a fact that goes on in America, aka Babylon the Great, is violence, okay? When you go, let's read this, Proverbs, I'm trying to remember, it was in Proverbs chapter 5 and 28, or maybe 25, let me see, I'm trying to remember what that precept is. No, that's not Proverbs 25 and 28. Yeah, that Proverbs 25 and 28 is actually a good precept as well, too. I'll go ahead and read that. Because it said, he that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down without walls, right? And so this is why, in this society, you really have to be slow to anger. You have to put yourself in a position to where you don't lash out, okay? Because the snares and the trap that is set up for so-called Negroes, Latino, and Native America is it basically set up for us to be caught up in the system, okay? And they gave the women feminism to increase that odds of you being caught up in this in the system that is set up by America, aka Babylon the Great. And what I mean the system is, the jailhouse and the prison system, okay? Because a lot of men actually went to jail behind women that these guys are speaking about, okay? But the precept that I'm looking for is trying to think about how it's worded, because it's been a while since I read that precept. It's bear with me for a minute. Let me think. I'm sorry, Proverbs 30 and 20. Is it Proverbs 26? What it said, jealousy is the rage of a man. That's the precept that I'm thinking of. Loosely paraphrasing, rage of a man. Oh, Proverbs 6 and 34, that's it, right? So that's the, so when that guy said that he's gonna keep smashing, this is the type of behavior that he's gonna bring, because of his work, not only because of, you got the, promiscuous woman of America, aka Babylon the Great, but you also have dudes like that, okay? They cause that type of it basically calls that evil thing, all right? Because that's an evil thing that he's done, okay? And he don't see nothing wrong with it, all right? So the point would be in verse 34, but we'll start at verse 32. Proverbs 6 and 32, it says, but whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding, he that doeth it destroys his own soul. A wound and a dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou gavest million gift. All right, so even though this is these side dudes saying like, the main dude don't know anything about it, but once he finds out, ain't no sparing. Okay, so there's a lot of situations that happen where, somebody lost their life. Okay, it would be the woman or whatever. So, and then when they lose their life, then they be right in that system, with the very same system that Esau, Edom, so-called white man have set up for the so-called black Latinos, Native America, which are indeed the biblical Hebrew Israelites. Okay, they always set these snares and traps, and then they set up an environment for you to fall into those snares and traps. Hence the feminism that these women are under, that vibration. Okay, they think that they don't need a man, they miss independent, they can do everything that they want. Okay, women are allowed to be at liberty. You know, they're allowed to roam and do whatever they please without any consequences, man. So let's continue.
All the shit you can do is try to be in a relationship after being a side nigga for so long. Oh my Lord. Listen, I have seen some of the most nefarious shit being a side nigga, and you don't really get to see how slimy women are until you are a side nigga. You don't get to see how fake that perfect and nice girl, innocent girl shit is, bro. Boy, I done seen a bitch call her nigga and harass him. Where you at? Who you with? Is that a bitch in the background? And she was in the bed with me. In the bed with me. Like, dog, being a side nigga completely changes how you view women. Because it's no longer that, you know, perfectionist, innocent, nice, and soft. You see how much of an act that shit is to get the shit that they want from out of people. You see just how performative they are when they're trying to get what they want. Like, listen, you ever trying to see the real raw version of women, just be a side nigga. See how much they lie, see how much they can prey on your emotions, see how much they manipulate, see how many lies they tell, see how far ahead they ass be thinking. I'm telling you, it'll change your whole perspective, bro. You got her green. Go get you a side. Go get you a bitch that need a side nigga. You gonna change colors so fast.
Yeah, women gonna understand.
And that's another thing, man. What's that? Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 20, right? And they don't see, and a lot of those same women, they don't see nothing wrong with that. Okay, and these are the women that always, you know, the women and these men right here, because the side dude, they not getting off either. All right, the Lord about to judge them. Okay. And this is what we talking about. This is the 2/3 of the nation of Israel. All right, they're going to be destroyed, and they're going to be nuclear missiles, man. Okay, the Lord will not spare these individuals, both the men and the women, in these particular cases, man. All right, because you got the Jake, who pretty much know that that woman have a man. We'll actually get the laws on that, but this is Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 20, and it says, "Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and says, I have done no wickedness." All right, and as that guy just got to explaining how why the side dude is next to her, she's over here calling her main dude and harassing him. Like, that's, I mean, such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and says, I have done no wickedness. She don't think nothing is wrong with what she done, the behavior, the emotional trauma that she's causing. Okay. With by playing with people, you know, emotions, right? So let's get another one. It was a proverb, not proverb, but it's Ecclesiastica, aka Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 19, which is a precept to the Proverbs 30 and 20, because it says, "All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her." Okay, right here, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. You see, and that is Proverbs again. It's pretty much says it different, but basically a woman would do some wickedness, and they don't think they done nothing wrong. Okay, you know, if they think tick for tack is the way to go, you know, whatever their reason for being the way that they are, it doesn't bother them. Okay, it's like they're numb, all because of the consequences. Like the law is slack here in America, aka Babylon the Great. Let's get that. Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 4 is the point, but we'll read up a little bit. We'll talk Habakkuk chapter 1 and 3, because in this very verse you see, we start at the top. Habakkuk 1 and 1, it said, the burden that Habakkuk the prophet did see. It said, the burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see. O Lord, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear? Even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save. So this is Habakkuk is complaining to Yahweh Shem Yahushua about all of these sin that he's seeing right before his eyes. He complaining. He don't you know, he basically asked him, "Oh Lord, when you gonna come and make these things right? When you gonna punish these people?" Right, verse 3. Why dost thou sue me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violence are before me, and there are that rise up strife and contention. Verse 4. Therefore the law is slack. What law? The laws of the Heavenly Father. Therefore the law is slack, and judgment doeth never goeth forth. For the wicked doeth compass about the righteous. Therefore wrong judgment proceeded. Okay, that goes all in full circle through the court systems in America, aka Babylon the Great. You know, because you got women that actually cheat on their husband, leave their husband for another man. Not only do they do that, they divorce that man and take half of what he got while sleeping with the man that they cheated on the husband. Like that's what goes on here in America, aka Babylon the Great. And all of that goes on because there's no fear of the consequence of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. Okay, now get the law. We get Leviticus chapter 20. Well, this is gonna be a quick lesson. You know, I'm just not trying to make this lesson too long, but you know, that's the thing that goes on in America, and this is why we got to get out of this place, man. This is like, I mean, how can you want to stay here when you got all of these things, right? Okay, but it's Leviticus 20:10. It said, the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that has committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. Okay, and that is basically both the side dude and the woman. They both supposed to be put to death. But of course, you're not going to be able to do that here in America, aka Babylon the Great. All right, you end up going to jail. Okay, and that's why the law is slack. Okay, in America, aka Babylon the Great. So therefore, we have to wait for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to come back and do that for us. All right, and he gonna come back and do that by the way of the nuclear missiles. He gonna even use Esau, Edom, so-called white man who actually set up this environment for him to do, for our wickedness to reign out, and he gonna use his weaponry just to punish the wicked, punishing the wicked to destruction. Okay, matter of fact, when you go back into that Matthew chapter 12, so I read verse 36, okay, but the point would be in verse 37, because it said, for by thy word thou shalt be justified, and by thy word thou shalt be condemned. All right, so like, yeah, that too, but 36 is where I wanted to start. Like, but I say unto you that every idle word that man shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. Okay, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. So all of your words and your behavior, the Lord is gonna judge you based on their word. Okay, because you read in verse 35, it tells you the good thing out of the good treasure out of the good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringing forth good things. Okay, so if you're that good man, you're not going to sleep with another man's wife. Well, again, this is what we talk about. You know, we're following the law to the best of our ability. Okay, and this is one of the many laws that you can follow. Right, you're not going to mess with another man's wife. Point blank. Period. So that pretty much puts you in the category of a good treasure out of a good treasure of the heart bringing forth good things. Okay, you find out there's a woman that you quote unquote might like and she got a good man, you're gonna cut it off. All right, point blank. Period. Okay, but the evil man out of the evil treasures bringing forth evil things. Okay, so just like that Jake in the beginning, he said that he gonna keep sleeping with the woman even though he know that she got another man. All right, and that's the nature of the things here in America, aka Babylon the Great. So let's continue.
I don't think women really grasp the understanding of males, right? When a woman says, "I have these dudes in my DM," yeah, you have a bunch of me's in your DM, and the personality of a man is, if you have a man, I'm going to keep throwing him a lot. Because I want to be side. I want to be number 2. I don't want to be number 1. Because the fact you're giving me attention lets me know you're looking at this bait. So I'm just saying, you want to be a number 2 guy for you.
And that's right there. The fact that he said this, and you have, a lot of women do this, man. Like, just like we read, such is the way of an adulterous woman, Proverbs 30:2. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and says, I have done no wickedness. Their behavior think they done nothing wrong. Like, when her main dude tell her to cut the dudes off, cut off her male friend, they have a problem with that. They don't think nothing is wrong with that. You see? That is the very precept that we got to reading.
I'd rather be number 2. We already know what number 1. Number 1, you're the dude that you complain about to number 2, right? You complain about me to him. He knows about me. I don't know about him. You're giving him all the fun part of you, right? I'm dealing with the bullshit. He getting all the crazy cat and that. No, that's what I want. I want the non-headache of you, right?
You see that? And that's the main reason why it's not, it would do you no good to get married in this society, man. It do you no good. You know, even when a woman give you an ultimatum, if you don't marry me, well, bye. You know, hey, and that's how it is. Like, you can't take a relationship serious in America, KK, Babylon, and Great. All right, that's just the way it is. The way these things you see going on, how they have access to all type of men and whatever, and you know, it's not pointless, man. You might as well just keep cracking them jaws, and you keep it moving, man. That's just basically how it is, man. And it's sadly, but the only way you're gonna be able to get you a real woman is when Yahweh Bashim Yahushua come to make the world a righteous kingdom. Okay, he gonna where as the scripture said, "Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." That's what we waiting on, man. Okay, so you know, I just wanted to bring that out, man. So eventually we're gonna see that time come around, man. So let's end it off of Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9, right? Because it says, "Rise up, you women that are at ease." All right, and that word "at ease," which basically means pride. Let's pull this up in the blue letter real quick. Just a quick lecture to the spirit, man. I just saw the video. I was like, I'm gonna just do kind of do a touch on that a little bit. But it's Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9, and it says, "Rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, you careless daughter. Give ear unto my speech." Okay, so there's gonna come a time which is already here. All right. You know, with the government shutdown, that's going all of that, the behavior is gonna come down. It's gonna come quick. It's gonna come to an end quickly. Okay. But here's the Hebrew word for at ease.
Strong's H7600. Sha'anan.
All right, Sha'anan, biblical outline uses it at ease, quiet, secure. At ease, secure, at ease, careless, wanton, arrogant. Okay, security, pride, arrogant. All right, so no matter what the woman do in this society, they have their pride and they have arrogance. Okay, they think they're gonna be able to get away with that adulterous nature for a very long time because it's allowed here in America, aka Babylon the Great. Okay, Strong's definition, it says from 87599. It says, secure in a bad sense, haughty, that is at ease, quiet, tumult. All right, compared to H7946. All right, so that is what that at ease is talking about. So when the Lord said, "Rise up, you women that are at ease," which is talking about the very same women that these side dudes are comparing to. They have a man at home, but they have a side dude. All right, and those are the ones the Lord said, "Rise up, you women that are at ease." All right. "Hear my voice, you careless daughter, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the venture shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. Tremble, you woman that are at ease, be troubled, you careless one, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins." All right? In verse 12, "They shall lament for the teat, for the pleasant field, for the fruitful vine." You see, they shall lament, meaning that you saw a quick example of that when the government shut down and they was talking about cutting off the food stamp. All right, that was a sign of lament, because you got the women coming on TikTok saying, if I ain't able to feed my babies and so on and so forth, that right there is a prophecy, because eventually it's going to happen. All right, especially with the digital ID coming into place and so on and so forth. Hey, it's only a matter of time, man, when we're going to see the end of this behavior. Pretty much the end of America is what we're waiting on, you know. It ended off with Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 8. All right, and this is what we've been waiting on right here. Zephaniah 3 and 8, and it said, therefore wait ye upon me, said the Lord, Yahweh Shai, until the day that I rise up to the prey. All right, which is talking about Esau, Edom, and so-called white man who give reign or let this wicked adulterous society reign supreme here in America. All right, so the Lord's gonna rise up and destroy his kingdom, and all of these adulterous women gonna fall right along with it. Okay, and these adulterous niggas that be pretty much acting like vultures, snooping around a lot of men. All right, matter of fact, you actually watch this video, there was a guy that described why he would be ready to be a side piece, because he said, why would I want to compete with a single woman who have like 20 dudes in her DM compared to a woman that already got a man? That's one woman compared to the 20 basically that one woman who have just want a side dude. He said that's easier compared to the single woman who had 20 dudes in her DM. You know, and that twisted logic that he had, right? It was just like, man, this nigga just. So the Lord gonna kill these niggas too, man. Both the adulterous woman and adulterous men. All right, and that's what we patiently waiting on, right? So Zephaniah 3 and 8 again from the top, and it said, therefore wait ye upon me, said the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nation, that I may assemble the kingdom, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousies. Okay, so hey man, we just patiently waiting. You know, we get tired of seeing this bullshit. All right, so you know, let me finish playing this, and then we're gonna close this out. All right, so we give all praise and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakadash. I want to give double honor to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who were well in teaching us the truth 100% securely. Shalom, Shalom, Kwame Yasharala, Shalom.
So number twos always love to just sit back and I get to enjoy. Yeah, those are the DMs. Everybody want to be number two in the DM. They don't want the responsibility of what you bring in. But women don't understand this. Yeah. Why would I ever want to be number one after being number two? I know what you're capable of. I hear your complaints. It's fucking same shit I do. I say fucking shit, ignore you, don't do that. You know what I mean? So,
well, I guess